Good morning, everyone. This is David. I'm with Revival Collectibles. I play, collect, and sell Star Wars Unlimited cards. I sell singles on TCG Player, and I sell playsets on eBay. I started playing this earlier this year, and it's just been such a fun game, and I love the art, and it's a fantastic game, and I hope that more people can learn to enjoy it the way that I do. So I thought today we could open up this box of Jump to Lightspeed. This came out earlier this year. It's a fantastic set. It's one of my favorites, but I thought we could crack it open and just give you an idea of what you can find in each pack and each box. So let's just get right into this. Part of the fun of this game is how affordable these cards are. So each box comes with 24 packs, and each pack has 16 cards in it, and it's designed so that you can play the game just with packs. You don't always have to have each individual card to build certain decks, and they come with these paper packs, which is awesome. So each one, you'll always get a leader card. Each leader card is unique and does something different. It helps the game to really, stand out from the rest. And then you get a base, and then you get a bunch of common cards. So this set is focused a lot on ships, spaceships. So one of my favorites, because spaceships in Star Wars is just so cool. So you get your commons, and then you get your 3 uncommons, and then you get a rare, and then 1 foil card. And the foil card can be a rare, it can be a common, it can be a legendary, which legendaries are the most rare out there. But usually get 5 or 6 legendaries per box, so those are usually the coolest, most unique cards in the game. So yeah, you get a bunch of commons. Your uncommons, especially in this game, your uncommons are very, very strong, very good for play. So those are definitely ones you want to hold on to. And another foil and another rare. And the ultimate chase that you want to get from these packs is you can get a foil alternate art leader card, and those are called showcase cards, and those are 1 out of every 12 boxes. So they're pretty rare. They're a little bit more common in the carbonite boxes, but in the regular boxes they're still pretty rare. But the art is always really cool, and it's always fun to play with those on the table at all times. You can also get these hyperspace variants, or it's a borderless art. And those are, I think most people prefer those. The foils tend to curl and pringle, but the hyperspace ones always look good and with the borderless. So people prefer those. But hopefully we can pull a showcase today. That would be pretty cool. And then you also have a chance for a hyperspace rare in your 3rd uncommon slot. So we got fortunate. We got Iden Versio hyperspace, which that's a very playable rare. And then we got our first legendary, Turbo Laser Salvo. That one's a little bit harder to pull off, but super cool and fun to pull off when you can. So like I said, you can get like 5 or 6 legendaries per box. Hopefully you can pull a showcase, because the showcases are just so cool. There's another hyperspace leader, and there's a hyperspace base. And then you have your chances to get hyperspace commons in that slot. And then again, you can get the uncommon. The uncommon slot can have a hyperspace as well. So here's a rare Luke Skywalker. So he's not a legendary, but he's very playable. So he tends to be more valuable and more desirable. So that's a very good pull. Ooh. And then a foil Boba Fett. So they tend to come out a little bowed, and then they bow even more over time. So a lot of people don't like the foils. I came from Decipher games, Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, and the foils in those games are the most desired. So to me, I still love the foil cards, and I love pulling them. And Boba Fett is one of my favorites, so I'm perfectly happy to pull that and have it. And I think that's my 3rd one. And in this game, a play set, in each deck you can have 3 of each card. And so when you have 3, then that you have what's called a play set. And that's what I specialize on eBay with. I sell 3 of each card so that you can build your decks and customize them the way that you want to. So it can be exactly how you want to play the game. And there's so many different ways to play this game. There's so many different decks, and things change. So it's nice to have the option. And then here is a rare base. That is the talk of the town. This base is in so many decks right now. So I don't know how much longer it's going to be allowed in play, but it's a good base to pull anyways. And pretty soon those rare bases will be in the regular slot where the bases are, so that way you don't get gypped out of a regular rare. Let's see. Now we can kind of power through these now that we've seen the basics. Oh, got another. Ooh. A hyperspace Darth Vader. That's one of the best legendaries you could pull a hyperspace in. So this box is a win in my book. That's awesome. And then a phantom and foil. Yeah, so the boxes and the cards are relatively affordable, which is nice. But they still also hold some value on the side, so that's kind of why I got into selling them, because I always had all these extra cards, and I was like, what am I going to do with them? Well, I just sell them on the side, and then it helps me to buy the other ones. So these are both very good uncommon cards. That one as well. This set is filled with them. IG 2000. That's a very good rare card. And then our foil. So I think generally this was a pretty well received set. I think most people enjoyed it. They enjoyed the theme of it, and it played pretty well. If you play draft where you play exclusively one set, this one, it played pretty well. It was fun. There's some powerful cards. There were some cool cards, and it just made for a really fun experience. And this was, so here's an example of a hyperspace foil. So then you get that borderless foil. Those are pretty cool. Those are very cool. So I started playing this game right before this set came out. So this set has always been one of my favorites. It's the first set that I mastered, so I've collected one of each card and each variant. So the regular, the hyperspace, the foil, and then the hyperspace foil. So I've got one of each of every card in this set, and that took so long, so long. I don't know if I'll do it again, but I'm working on collecting all of the showcase leaders for this set as well. And I think I'm up to 7. And each set has 18 leaders and 18 showcases per leader, so it gets out of hand pretty quick. And some of them can be affordable, but a lot of them can be pretty valuable, over $100 usually. And there's another rare base. That's the one that I use in my deck. But yeah, it's a fun game, and it's fun too if you just like cracking packs and opening up cards. That's one of my favorite things to do. Everyone always says, you know, just buy the singles, it's cheaper, and it's true. It's a lot more affordable to do it that way, but I like opening packs. Well, there's a cool legendary. Not necessarily the most playable, but the triangles are always cool. I love that ship. So where's our showcase? Why have we not pulled a showcase yet? I've had pretty good luck with this set in terms of pulling showcases. I think I've pulled 5 or 6 at this point. Of course, it's not not the most economical to open up packs to try and pull the showcases. You gotta eventually buy and trade for them. Otherwise, you'll be spending tons of money, even for a game that's as affordable as this one. That's where TCG Player is good, and even better if you can trade for it with any of your locals. I'm pretty fortunate where I live in Utah. There's a ton of shops and a ton of support for the game, so it's nice to be able to trade with people, and it's a really fun community. Everyone really enjoys the game, and nobody's too everyone's nice. We'll put it like that. Every game has their try-hards, but for the most part, most people are in this game because they love Star Wars, and that makes everything a little bit more fun. There's another legendary, not as playable, but a cool ship nonetheless. Take that. All right. So once you really get cooking, it's you can open up a ton of packs really fast. That's an excellent rare card. I think this card alone is almost $10 just for a rare. So the value and the rarities, it's kind of all over the place with this game. The legendaries aren't always the strongest cards or the most valuable, so it's kind of weird. but it's nice because it makes it easier for people to get in and play the game, and you don't have to spend tons of money on your deck. You can just get into it and play the game and enjoy it, which is nice because this is a really fun game. It's enjoyable to play. It's the first card game that I've played. I've always just collected, so this is the first one that really got my attention and made me actually want to play the game. And it's really fun. It's simple enough to get into, but it is also can be very complex, the way that the game plays, because each turn you do an action, then your opponent does an action. So a lot of games can be won and lost by one decision that you make, the right or the wrong decision. So it can be very technical in that way, which is fun because there's so many cards and there's so many different leaders, and it makes it fun to try out new combos, new lines, new abilities. It does take time to figure out how to play it. It took me a long time. I lost a lot of games when I first started playing this game. It was kind of frustrating, but once you figure it out, then it can be a lot of fun. And it can be a good level of competition with people, but not so much that you're left being frustrated at the game or the people. So that's always good. Always a nice thing to have. I'll pick that up later. Another hyperspace. That's the uncommon. So that slot can be a hyperspace uncommon, rare, or legendary. So you could theoretically pull a hyperspace legendary, a regular legendary, and then foil legendary, which I actually did one time. It was a hyperspace Leia, then a regular Leia, and then a hyperspace foil Leia in that 3 for 3 for legendaries. That was pretty cool. I wish I could do that with every pack. That would be pretty cool, but then nothing would be worth it. So there's a balance of availability of cards and then the value. So that's a cool little hyperspace R2. Again, this is only an uncommon card, but super playable in a lot of decks right now. Let's see, we got 4 packs left. Let's see, we got 4 more chances to pull a showcase. Let's see if we can do it. Very good uncommon card. Cham Syndulla. Ooh, an excellent rare. No glory, only results. That is a super playable rare. I think that one's another $10 card. So lots of really playable cards. Lots of things to get into right now in the competitive scene. There's 6 sets that you can make decks out of, so it can be a little complicated right now. But in a few months, the first 3 sets are going to rotate out. So then we'll only have 4 sets to build out of, and that will make it a little bit easier for people who have never played to kind of get into it and learn the game a little bit more. But for right now, there's just a plethora of cards to play with, which is good and bad to some degree. It's kind of hard when you've got hundreds, thousands of cards really, but lots of cool cards. There's another legendary triangle, the Annihilator. This is a hard card. It's a difficult card to get on the table, but once you get it on the table, it does so much, and it's frustrating if the opponent can pull it off. But hey, if you let them get to 11 resources and they can play that, it's kind of on you. But no showcase today, but that's okay. You can't win them all. We still pulled some fantastic cards, a lot of really good rares, a lot of good legendaries too. So, and then all right, and this is a fantastic pull because this is the least valuable legendary in the entire game. There's a guy on Reddit who tracks the prices of legendaries, and this one is less than $1. But I never tried to figure that out. So yeah, there we go. There's 24 packs of Star Wars Unlimited, Jump to Lightspeed. Hopefully this was either entertaining or educational, or I don't know, maybe you just put it on in the background and watch it while you're doing something else. That's a lot of the times what I do. But watching people open packs was one of the ways that I got into this game. I enjoyed seeing all the art and seeing what was possible to pull in the pack. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and then we'll have some more pack openings here in the future. All right, see you later.